On to Notre Dame, fighting with the conference that they're a fake member of.
Who's worse, the ACC or Notre Dame?
The ACC.
Yeah.
Here's why.
What came worse, the chicken or the egg here? I can't tell.
I'm really trying to be cautious with this because I know it's going to offend somebody.
You want me to start? You want to collect your thoughts?
I want to do it. I want to do it. If I offend some people, I offend them.
Do it to them.
Who's worse, the drug addict or the person that enables them? Because the ACC is an enabler. The ACC had an opportunity in 2020 to, now if you struggle with that, again, it's college football addiction, so I felt like I could get away with it. If you struggle with that, I'm not trying to be insensitive.
Yeah, let me check my bases. Not making light of that at all, but the question,
not at all.
Who do you blame here? Who do you blame?
Somebody's got a gambling addiction.
Is it the person that gave the chip?
Is it the enabler?
Yeah, right.
And so
maybe gambling was a better. Maybe we should have
probably
started with gambling. But I see where you're going with it. Who do you blame here?
Who do you blame?
Yeah.
Yes, if you have a crippling addiction to anything in your life and you continue to be enabled, at some point, a tiger doesn't change its stripes. At some point, you cannot continue to enable. So if I don't discipline my kids and they continue to fight each other, like there are so many things that probably were less sensitive than drug addiction. But here we are on college football addiction. And so you get what you get.
And Locked On Big 12.
The ACC had a chance in 2020 when Notre Dame had no friends at the table to tell them, buck up, get in or get out. And the ACC did nothing. They let them be a member for 1 year so that they could curtail to Notre Dame, knowing full well that Notre Dame would never join this crap conference. And they didn't. And they enabled. And they let Notre Dame be who they want to be. And they still let Notre Dame take part in this ACC schedule. And they still let Notre Dame be a quasi member in other sports and all of those things. And Notre Dame is now going to get in over, listen, it pains me to say it, I don't care who wins the ACC championship. They are going to get in over the best ACC team that exists. Does Miami ultimately have 2 losses? And that's probably going to keep them out of the dance in Charlotte? Probably. But it's also the Notre Dame ACC relationship is ultimately going to keep Miami out of the playoff. And let's be honest, not that I think Miami is a national championship caliber team. They have national championship caliber talent, but they also have an idiot for head coach in a lot of respects. But it's going to keep the ACC from having a legitimate shot to go out and win anything of importance this year.
So I won't do the drug addict thing. I'll spare you.
I feel bad for the gambling addicts too. A lot of you guys are probably gambling addicts. I feel bad for not just leading off with you guys. I should have shown some love there.
So for me, if you pose the question, do you blame the addict or the enabler? Yeah, if someone's feeding you the drugs every day, and if they're giving you the easy access to this, then yeah, I'm going to keep on that. Of course, that's something why would I ever stop? Why would I ever stop? Notre Dame can do whatever they want to the ACC. So it's so stupid to me that it's supposed to be me ragging on Notre Dame, by the way, because their schedule is pretty. I'll give you a little blurb on that here. Notre Dame, this comes from one of my new favorite accounts on Twitter, by the way, First and 16 podcast. Notre Dame, 1-2 in ranked matchups, 2-0 against group of 5 teams, 7-0 against Power 4 teams with a combined record of 10-47.
Ooh.
10-47 when those Power 4 teams play other Power 4. So in essence, like Arkansas's 0-8 against Power 4, Purdue's 0-9, Boston College 0-8. Doesn't even count the Arkansas loss to Memphis. Like nuts. Pitt is the only winner out of that bunch. And so I think Notre Dame already is not doing a very admirable thing in how they're playing their schedule. I believe the BYU should be ranked above them. I think that Utah could beat them head-to-head because of the defense. And I think it's unfair Notre Dame's only 2 losses don't count as losses because they were quality.
Good losses, which is a wild thing that we have in 2025. Everybody gets a trophy.
Shouldn't work like that. Yeah, but of course, Ohio State beating Texas was awesome, right? That counts. That part counts. So I am of the mind, BYU, who has the number 6 resume in the country, number 27 strength of schedule, both of those far better than Notre Dame, should be in over the Irish. But what's even wilder somehow is as I'm going to rag on Notre Dame, I see a tweet from the ACC. Their official conference account adding Notre Dame, tweeting at Notre Dame, saying that Miami beat Notre Dame head to head, and Miami should be in. Notre Dame's a fraud. Notre Dame is this. Notre Dame doesn't deserve it. They're retweeting Joel Klatt and Chris the Bayer and Ian Heat and Chuck Todd and Clay Travis saying that Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be in. They're dragging Notre Dame's name. Dog, you're the same conference begging to have any and all affiliation with Notre Dame. How stupid is it to use your mouthpiece to say, look at Notre Dame, they suck? I just stop. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. You don't have to keep doing this to yourself, man. This is not. I don't get how the ACC continues to shoot itself in the foot, shoot everybody else in the foot. Like it's just. Somebody recanted to me, and I won't say who, but it was a Big 12 source, a guy who's pretty close with the Big 12 and works for the conference. He said, man, if we still had Bob Bowlesby, this thing would be a dumpster fire. We would just be the damn ACC. It's like, that's true, and it sucks for the ACC and its fan bases, but Brett Yormark's a businessman. Brett Yormark is the guy. He is a dude that is revamping and recreating what the Big 12 is as an identity with huge amounts of success. Bob Bowlesby was just Jim Phillips. And Jim Phillips is out of touch. He does not have, he's out of touch. That's the best way. It's not an attack on his character, but it just feels like every move the ACC makes, they win idiot of the day. This doesn't make any sense to go out after Notre Dame, who, guess what, is a member of your damn basketball conference and just kicked up. Like you're paying them. You're paying this school. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Some of the ACC's biggest matchups that happen on TV are due to Notre Dame,
no doubt,
being a quasi-member. You think about that Miami game to start the year. You think about the way that Florida State has played them over the years. Clemson has played them over the years. It's like simultaneously punching and hugging somebody at the same time. They have given Notre Dame the opportunity to do what they do. And I don't know if the Big Ten would let Notre Dame join as a quasi-member, a fake member. I don't know that. The Big 12 would. I don't know if the SEC would. But in the same breath, to go from drug addicts to the Bible, there's a Bible verse that says they cuss me and they praise me at the same time. And that is what the ACC is doing here. You are the ones who have given Notre Dame this opportunity to have a crap schedule, get a few big matchups that don't ultimately end up hurting them in the long run. You are the ones who have let Notre Dame be what Notre Dame is. Now, let me back up. Notre Dame is what they are because of their brand and their legacy. And I'm not trying to diminish them as a program. Yes, Notre Dame is, to me, the biggest program in our sport. That's fine. What Notre Dame is in 2025, the ACC has allowed to happen. And at the same exact time, you are smacking them in the face and completely disrespecting a partial member of your conference. And doing that to try and bump up, again, the best team that you have. The ACC knows that for all intent and purposes, Miami is not going to go to the ACC championship. There is a path. If Pittsburgh was to beat Georgia Tech and then Miami was to beat Pittsburgh, yes, then at that point they would go. But they know that their best team, their only chance of any kind of success in the college football playoff is Miami. And the ACC knows the only way they can do that is to shoot themselves in the foot by basically admitting that Notre Dame should not be a partner with this conference. I've whined about it for 2 years, Drake. This doesn't surprise me. The ACC making a misstep, the ACC doing something stupid, it in no way shocks me. It just is another data point that we have, and it's further proof of why teams like Florida State, Clemson, Miami, though they need to take care of their own business, certainly want to get out from under this awful leadership.
Yeah, man. Like, I can't. Did this whole thing, Cal and Stanford are ACC teams. I really wanted to rag on Notre Dame today, but then the ACC just said, nope, hold my beer. And there was a real chance, TJ, that this week, I think it's this week, Bear Bachmeier and Fernando Mendoza would square off. Cal and Stanford, baby. In
a vaunted ACC matchup.
Yep, in the ACC. Those two quarterbacks are leading their teams on a crash course to the college football playoff. The conference needs some help, man. They need some real help. And I'm sorry, you're at least for the time being, a guy who covers Florida State as a member of the ACC.
People will tell me at times like, well, being the ACC guy. And I was like, look, can you call me anything?
Yeah,
can you just cuss me out? Can you MF?
Being the enabler. Being the enabler, huh?
Yeah. Can you just MF me instead of calling me the ACC guy?
College football addiction, man.
There is an A and a C in addiction. So, I guess that is close enough. And there's another one in college. So, I guess it's my fault for, having similar letters. Drake, where can people follow you? Where can they find your content?
At Locked On Big 12, your podcast, as well as YouTube, and at Drake C. Toll on Twitter, at Ella Big 12 on Twitter, and I don't know, wherever else. Just Google me. Figure it out.
We got the account back. The account is back.
Somehow, sadly.
The impersonator, that impersonating child for Halloween finally got the credentials.
To the chagrin of the general public, yes, I have my personal Twitter back in my own hands.
Drake, I appreciate you, bud.
Always fun, TJ.